Hello there, custard creams. Welcome to my little card slinging corner for an episode of CARDSLINGER. I have definitely thought about changing the name of this series on my channel because when I originally did this series, the very first episode that I filmed, I said that I refer to myself as a card slinger, rather like a gunslinger but with cards, and suddenly that caught on like wildfire and everyone and their mother's fucking dog is referring to themselves as a card slinger now. You know what? It's really nice to be a trendsetter and all that, but it seems like a bit of a generic name now, sadly. But never mind, I started by calling it CARDSLINGER and that's what I'm going to continue to call it, so fuck it. So I'm gonna just basically sit here at my card slinging table, guys, and talk about whatever takes my fancy, talk about decks, what I'm looking forward to unboxing, what I'm playing with, what's in my reach for more basket, which was another idea that kind of caught on in various different incarnations, which is so great because I love seeing what other people are looking forward to playing with and what other people are doing. So I guess I will start by letting you guys know what I'm drinking because this is absolutely sublime, guys, what's in my cup today. I am drinking one of the Twinings super blends. It's turmeric with orange and star anise and it is so bloody good. It is gorgeous. I thought I'd get it preemptively to ward off any colds or any winter sickness that might be coming my way. I normally am really lucky and I do well with winter sicknesses and winter bugs. They normally pass me right on by, or I get a kind of reduced version of them in comparison to a lot of people around me. So that's great. But turmeric is so good for so much and I just keep getting told that I should put more of it into my diet and I read good things about it all the time. So I thought, I definitely will try something with turmeric in it, especially if it's blended with orange, because I love teas that are orangey. So yeah, that's what's in my cup today. I'm burning patchouli, in case anyone's wondering, in my little incense burner. So the first thing I wanted to get started with that I really want to rave about, if you will allow me just a couple of minutes, Delian Moon Tarot. I absolutely am in love. I have only just started using it for client readings. You guys are going to be seeing the unboxing and first impressions coming in the next few days. I filmed it in September, so I will definitely look forward to sharing those first impressions with you. But I wanted to put this card slinger episode out first because I have been at my tarot table all day slinging cards, slinging tarot cards, slinging oracle cards, doing lots and lots of my Halloween and Samhain readings for clients and other things as well. And I just felt like while I'm here and I'm taking a break and having a cup of tea, why not make a card slinger episode? So I'm mentioning the Delian Moon here before you've actually seen the unboxing and first impressions, but it is coming in the next day or so. I am in love with Delian Moon. I've got the borderless edition and it is a joy. I really love using this for client readings. It's so profound, guys. I know that there's a very much a kind of like love it or loathe it vibe with Delian Moon. I know there are lots of people that aren't keen on it and it's not a deck for everybody, but I just really enjoy it. I'm so happy with it. I'm really glad that it's in my collection and I feel like I'm just going to bond more and more with this deck. This Three of Swords is just immense. It's such a beautiful depiction of my favourite card in the Minor Arcana, so really love the Three of Swords. So many of these cards just speak to me on levels and levels, guys. So very happy to have Delian Moon, and I'm going to be adding Delian Moon to my my kind of Samhain and Halloween go-to decks, I think, which, you know, I think for a lot of people is going to make a great deal of sense. So yeah, Delian Moon will be going into my kind of like have to hand options for Samhain and Halloween, which I normally just keep over to the left of my table. Every year I just have my little pile of the key working decks for my Samhain and Halloween readings. They are actually out now, guys. If you want to go and peruse the shop, I will leave the link to the Halloween and Samhain options down below. So yeah, Delian Moon is a deck that I have put into my kind of Halloween and Samhain pile, along with Bohemian Gothic. As always, Bohemian Gothic is really, I think, the deck that I use most often and have used most of all for Samhain and Halloween readings. Oh, I've got some, oh, it's all jumbled up. So yeah, I really love Bohemian Gothic. Bohemian Gothic for my Samhain and Halloween options is a firm favourite. Oh, this Magician card, guys. I love this Magician card. those red candles and the dramatic coat. It's so up my alley, darling. Yeah, so Bohemian Gothic is coming back as always as a firm favourite for Halloween and Samhain, and the other deck that always comes along every single year for my Halloween and Samhain readings is the Zombie Tarot, and I'll show you guys that as well. The Zombie Tarot is back with a vengeance for 2018's Halloween and Samhain readings. This is another deck that I really enjoy. Very big hefty box, very well made. I love the sides with all the bullets on. It's a really cool deck, this. It really plunges you into a world. I literally just got done actually doing a few Samhain single dose readings with the Zombie Tarot. So yeah, shout out to one of those clients if you were one of that batch that I just did with my Zombie Tarot. I absolutely love this one. I don't know why I don't get this out the rest of the year. Because I do, you know, play with my Bohemian Gothic the rest of the year, and there's no doubt that I will play with my Delian Moon the rest of the year, but Zombie Tarot to me just feels like a Halloween and Samhain deck. I know lots of people do use it for their readings all year round. I love this Lovers card. I love the Lovers card from Zombie Tarot. Absolutely gorgeous. But yeah, for some reason I don't get it out for the rest of the year. I must say it doesn't strike me so much as a deck for the rest of the year, for me anyway. God, I love this Justice card. So yeah, those are the Halloween and Samhain decks, and there is one deck that I have purchased for the season that I have not unboxed yet, that is in my little unboxing pile, that I wanted to mention to you guys that I will be showing an unboxing of as well fairly soon, and that deck is the Halloween Tarot. Now, I definitely wasn't in the market for the Halloween Tarot. It wasn't something I was interested in. I'd heard about it, I'd seen it. Wasn't really doing anything for me from the little that I had seen. And it wasn't until I was doing a tarot chat session with a client, and the client was using their Halloween Tarot. And so I got a chance to have a really good proper look at it, and I got a chance to see how you can read with it and what the general vibe is of it, and I fell in love actually, and I just added it to cart that very evening. So thank you very much to that particular client, shout out to you honey, for introducing me to the Halloween Tarot and showing me the wealth of possibility that it could offer me as a deck for Halloween and Samhain. So I'm very much looking forward to also unboxing this in the next few days and showing you guys my unboxing and first impressions of the Halloween Tarot this month in the not too distant future. Again, that will happen in the next couple of days because I want people to be able to really connect with whether or not it would be a good option for them for Halloween and Samhain, so I don't want to leave it too terribly much longer. But yeah, so the Halloween Tarot I'm hoping is going to be put onto my pile of decks that I can use for Halloween and Samhain readings for clients as well. So yeah, those are the options for the spooky season, and I am really loving doing the Halloween and Samhain readings. I wait for it every year. I'm excited for it every single year. I just feel so privileged to do the job that I do. I feel so privileged that people are interested in getting readings from me and coming back for readings from me. That means so much to me, guys, and thank you so much if you've already purchased a Halloween or Samhain reading, and if I haven't delivered yet, I cannot wait to deliver to you. You are on my queue and you are coming up, and I will be delivering forthwith. That turmeric tea is the one. Okay, so there's a few different things I want to get to in the course of this Card Slinger episode, because I know there's some things I've been asked and I keep being asked that I really want to answer. First things first, I'm seeing it winking out the corner of my eye on my tarot shelves, and I feel like I just have to get to it because I know that I have got to answer this sooner or later. So let me pull it out right now and get down to business. Aleister Crowley, the Thoth deck. I got it for my birthday a long time ago, and ever since then I have had a sort of slow train of questions coming through about, like, do you still play with Thoth? How did you find it? Or Thoth, or however the fuck you want to say it. I know people say it different ways. So how did you find it, and are you using it, and whatnot? Now, I'm just going to be completely honest. I love the art in this deck. I really enjoy the artistry. I love the line work. I love the colours. I love all of that. But something in me just did not connect to this deck and I saw Katie Flowers talking about it in her live not long ago, saying that she also really enjoys the artwork but could not connect for some reason with the deck. Now look at this beautiful artwork. For those of you who are not familiar with the Thoth deck, it is absolutely stunning. You know, there's no doubt that it's beautiful. The depth in the compositions is incredible. You know, you really feel like you are being plunged right into a world. There's so much depth in the colour, and it's so striking, you know, and when you lay out a spread, it just looks incredible. But it is a deck that does require a hefty amount of study if you really want to understand what all of these different symbols are and what the intention was behind some of these very intricate images with lots of different things in them. And in order to give yourself to the study of the deck, you have to really be passionate about the idea of reading with it, I think. Don't get me wrong, there are people that pick it up and just fucking read with it, and they don't feel like they need to, they don't feel that like they need to grab the Duquette book and the Crowley book and get really into it all, and that's fine. But I felt like for my part, this isn't something I could just pick up and read with. I felt like I needed to do the work, and I wasn't inspired enough by the idea of ending up Thoth literate to actually want to do the work it requires to understand what all of these different things are and what everything means, right? Because I do have some understanding of what some of it means, but yeah, there is stuff in there that I could do with understanding what Crowley's intentions were and why he requested that the art be done that way. Now, I feel like I understand why there's a block for me with this deck, and the block is Crowley himself for me, really. I'm just not a fan of the man, you know. He's just a bit of a prick, so it's just kind of like knowing how he treated some of the women that were with him in Sardinia, you know, when they were basically like in some kind of drug-addled magical sex cult type situation. Some of the things that I've read about, like how he locked his lover in the basement under the influence of LSD, and she said she was seeing demons and like begged to be let go and he wouldn't let her go. When you know these things, you kind of feel a little bit weird about investing yourself so fully in his creation when there's just so many other amazing decks that are incredibly nurturing, that are incredibly beautiful, that weren't made by someone whose name reminds you of such low vibration stuff. You know, even his name is just like a bit icky to me. Don't get me wrong, I totally understand why he's such an important figure. I totally think it's important to be literate in why he is a significant figure in magic and in the craft, and also just in culture in general. But I think all of that is important. But do I want to delve into his world so completely and intimately in this way by, like, you know, really giving myself to the study of this deck? Apparently not, because I tried on a number of occasions. I started a book, I started making notes, I started studying from the Duquette book, and I picked it up and I dropped it, and I came back to it and I dropped it again. I don't know what it is, but I just don't care enough. Maybe I could be super blasphemous and just read with the deck straight off without going into the study that I'd convinced myself was required. I know there's going to be some hardcore Thoth people that are going to say to me down in the comments, no way, Jose. N-O spells no. You can't do that. But you know me, I'm a bit of a fucking outlier. I don't really give a shit. To be honest with you, the more sort of sacred something is held in its amniotic water of knowledge and whatnot, the more I'm likely to just go straight in there and just start playing with it, because that's just like that's my instinct. My instinct is to take something that I'm being told I'm not allowed to play with and play with it, right? The rebel archetype is strong in this one. So, you know, I guess I could do that, but something about that doesn't feel right either. I feel like I have to understand this process. I feel like I have to understand how this ended up looking the way it looks, and what the meanings are. And I know it was a very arduous process getting this thing done, and I think that's important. I think that can stand to be considered as important. So who knows where I'm going to end up with this. I'm not interested in passing it on. I do want to keep it. So obviously the door is not closed completely as far as I'm concerned. I'm not telling myself that it's the end. But certainly I've been on a very long holiday from even trying to get to grips with this deck. Let me know, you guys, how you feel about this deck. Have you studied with it? Can you read it? Do you like it? Do you have a funny, icky feeling about it as well? And is it the same nature of funny, icky feeling that I have? Like, what's going on for you? Because I would love to know. I would love to get your feedback on where you are with this deck and whether or not you've come across it or whether or not you're interested in it but maybe sort of haven't made your way over there yet for one reason or another. Because as I said, the art is really very, very vibrant and lovely and deep and gorgeous, but I don't know, I just get a funny feeling about it somehow. It doesn't help that it says Aleister Crowley on the front. It's like, oh, fuck off, Aleister, would you, for Christ's sake. So that's how I feel. That's where I am with it. Just for anybody that was wondering, or for anybody who's asked me over the course of time, because I haven't gotten back to every single question in that regard, but I've answered quite a few times people asking me, have you played with it more? But I wanted to give an in-depth answer as to why I have not played with it more. It is, however, very, very beautiful. I suppose the next logical port of call would be my Reach for More basket, because I know that I showed you guys that in a previous episode of CARDSLINGER, and I said it's something that I wanted to continue to show you. But before I do, I want to give you a little bit of a, let's say, a sneak peek of something that's coming on the channel this month that you might be interested in. So basically, as you may or may not know, I offer on my shop a purchase option called Goddess Guidance Readings, and I really love doing them. They are one of my more popular options in the online store, and I always do my Goddess Guidance readings with these cards right here, the Doreen Virtue Goddess Guidance Oracle cards, and I've used these cards for a very long time. I can't exactly tell you how long off the top of my head, but I've been using them for quite some time now. I actually really like this deck. I do have some problems with the way some of the goddesses are depicted. I don't necessarily enjoy some of the subheadings. It's not perfect, it's not exactly what I want. However, what I will say for it that it's got going in its favour for me is that it always seems to come up with these amazing combinations of goddess energies for my clients, and a lot of the time when I do a 3-card reading, which is the normal amount that I would do for a full-length goddess guidance reading, I just feel like what comes through from this deck is always just so pertinent and so interesting, and I'm excited by the combinations that come through, right? So I can kind of work with the fact that I'm not really keen so much on all of the artistic depictions, and certainly I'm not a fan of all of the subheadings. So if you guys, I know some of you guys won't have seen what this deck looks like or anything, so I'll give you an idea with a few of the cards. So basically what happens is I've got Isolde there on her own at the back. You basically get the name of the goddess, you get a subheading that explains sort of the essence of the energy of that goddess, and then you get this sort of sentence underneath which allows you to kind of lean further into the energy of the goddess. So basically here, for example, we've got Artemis, you've got the subheading Guardian, you've got the illustration, and then here, you and your loved ones are safe and spiritually protected is the sentence. You've got Lakshmi here, bright future is the subheading, and then the sentence, stop worrying, everything is going to be fine. Now I'm sure you can see already why I'm not keen on these little sentences down below. They are very ham-fisted and very almost predictive in some ways as well. I'm uninspired. I'm left feeling uninspired and sometimes a little bit trapped in a way by the sentences, and if I wasn't so connected to the goddess energies featured in this deck and I was just trying to work from the sentences, I would definitely feel that they are clunky and they are frustrating. I do really love this deck. I do really enjoy this deck. I feel very close to it because I've had it for so long and I've used it for so long. However, it is time for me to move on. My intention for a while now has been to find a different Goddess Oracle deck and to move on from the Doreen Virtue. I will always keep it, but I feel like I don't necessarily want to begin Goddess Guidance readings for my clients by showing them the Doreen Virtue box and and bringing Doreen Virtue's name into it. You know what, I'm going to refrain from going really deeply into why I want to move away from the Doreen Virtue deck, because I do explain that in the unboxing of the Goddess Oracle deck that I have purchased to replace the Doreen Virtue one. So I'm going to let that video do the talking, and that is going to come out this month as well. I warned you guys there was a lot of unboxings coming in October and for the rest of the year. So I'm going to just briefly show you the Goddess Oracle deck that I've selected instead. It is by Amy Sophia Marashinsky, illustrated by Harana Yanto, and this is going to be my new one. So I am really excited about this. I have been studying with it, I have been acquainting myself with it. It does have some overlap in the featured goddesses, and there are some goddesses featured that are not in the Doreen Virtue deck. The book is also incredibly hefty and very generous, very well done. So I'm really excited about this basically. So this is going to be my new Goddess Oracle deck that I use, and so far so good. I'm really enjoying it. I'm really getting a lot out of it. I'm so glad that I moved on to this one, and I'm basically just doing some studying now so that I can really just get acquainted with each of the goddess energies and the cultures that they derive from, etc. It's not about working with any of these goddesses, it's not about interacting with any of them or any of that. It's about learning in a scholarly way so that I can connect with what the meanings are and what the nuances are of each of them. And it's getting to the point where I feel comfortable using this one and moving on from the Doreen Virtue. So I am just really excited. So I thought I would mention that. So that's something that's happening, that's a sort of, let's say, a progression that I am really delighted about. I really love this Goddess Oracle. So yeah, I will be sharing the unboxing and first impressions with you guys again a little bit later this month. And for those who are interested, I really hope that that's going to be inspiring. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys now what's in my Reach for More basket, which is basically a basket that I keep at the bottom little right hand side of my tarot shelves, my tarot and oracle shelves, which is basically a box that is right to hand, which I fill with the things that I would like to get more use out of, that I would either like to return to and explore from a new place in my life, or maybe decks that I haven't played with much that I want to give a little bit more airtime to. So the Reach for More basket solves what I think is a fairly common problem for card slingers of every variety, which is that once you start to collect decks, you feel as though some of them get a lot of attention and you maybe get stuck in your ways with favouring some of them, whilst others collect dust and you feel like you didn't really give them a chance. So the Reach for More basket is basically just kind of my remedy for this. It's where I allow myself to fill this up with the things that I want to explore, that I want to give more time to. Maybe I want to see whether or not I can work with something after initially feeling that it didn't work out well, or maybe I just want to play with it more because I love it and I'd kind of forgotten about it. So I'll talk you through what is in the Reach for More basket at the present time and why, basically. So first things first, the Ghosts and Spirits Tarot is in my Reach for More basket, but it is not because I'm using it for client readings. It is actually because I am studying it slowly but surely. So I want to have it to hand so that I can study it and make notes on it, etc. Now, Ghosts and Spirits Tarot has been a little bit of a thorn in my side for spooky season, guys, because I purchased it quite some time ago, but I really want to do some deep study into each of the stories that are featured in the 78 cards, which are ghost stories from different cultures and different times, right? Now, I know some of these stories and others I don't know at all. And obviously I think it would be great to know all of them and have an awareness of all of them if I'm going to utilise the imagery from this deck in a really sort of productive way. But I have never given the time to it. I just do not give the time to it. There's other things that are less high maintenance that I can pick up and work with, that don't require lots of study and don't require lots of you know, going off in the direction of different myths and poems and all that jazz. So I will admit I have just been lazy with Ghosts and Spirits Tarot. It looks amazing. I want to be able to use it. I want to get that sense of fluency in it. but I just have not allowed myself to do that. Again, I am reaching yet another spooky season where I do not know enough about the stories in this deck to be able to use it, and I'm starting to just get really disappointed in myself, to be honest. I really feel like I want to be able to put this into my collection and use it and work with it. It's so beautiful and intriguing, and I just feel like I'm not giving it the time and the energy that it deserves. So that's why it's in the reach for more. It probably shouldn't even be in the reach for more, you know. I might take it out and just leave it in the living room because that's where I'm actually studying. I'm not actually studying here at the table. I'm studying in the living room, so I don't even know why this is in reach for more. And there's another study deck in here which I will take out actually and leave in the living room, and that is the Tarot of the Sacred Feminine, which is the other one that I'm currently studying. As with the Ghosts and Spirits Tarot, you've got myths and goddesses attached to every single one of these cards. In fact, this one is Hell right at the front there. This is a depiction of souls going into Helheim via Hell's mouth. So yeah, there's stories and myths and goddesses, etc. attached to every one of these cards. Some I'm aware of, some I'm not aware of, so it's really just about connecting with each of these stories and the meanings, etc. So that's why this is here, Tarot of the Sacred Feminine, and this is definitely something that I want to be able to get that fluency in, that means that I can really use it. So I'm going to go ahead and actually remove this from my reach for more as well and put it in the living room, and I'll do a little bit more study with that soon. The next thing in the reach for more basket is Revelations Tarot. This is one of the first decks that I put into my collection when I decided that I was going to branch out from the Rider-Waite imagery, and I really love it. It's amazing. It's that deck that is reversible, so you get an image, equally finished, beautiful kind of stained glass image on the reverse, so it doesn't matter whether you get the card reversed or right ways up, you're going to see an image that makes sense, basically. So it's really interesting, a really intriguing deck. Since I've stopped working with reversals now, I think this will be a really interesting one to revisit and return to, because you do get that reversal energy, and you do get an image that you can read that represents the reversed energy. So even if you don't read reversals, it's like you are reading reversals with this deck, right? So that's something interesting about it. One of the main things I really love about Revelations Tarot is the palette and the way that it looks very stained glassy. I really enjoy that about it. I really think that's beautiful. Yeah, so I'm excited to revisit this deck. It's been quite some time since I revisited this one, and it's going to be great for me, I think, exploring those reversed energies and just looking at the interplay between those two and thinking about what the reversed image brings to the proceedings when I'm doing readings for clients. I really love this Page of Swords. I'm really enjoying that gorgeous green with the purple there and those flourishes of white. That's really pretty. So yeah, I'm going to be using Revelations Tarot. And another one that I just want to reach for more, and that's why it's in my basket, is True Love Tarot. Now, guys, this deck, True Love Tarot, has got to be one of my favourite tarot decks at the present time. I really enjoy it. I'll show you guys the book that it came with. Here it is, True Love Tarot. So this is what the box looks like as well, although the box was not fit for purpose whatsoever, so I had to get rid of it. But yeah, this is a beautiful book that it comes with, all these amazing full colour images. Really lovely. So anyway, True Love Tarot, I really am a huge fan. It's a deck that haunted me for quite some time, and eventually I just gave in and just purchased it because it's absolutely stunning. So I will show you some of the True Love Tarot deck. It's amazing, right? So every single card in the True Love Tarot comes with this subheading, So for the Hierophant, it's tradition, for example. For 10 of Wings, it's difficulty. And you get this all the way through. Prince of Wings is the challenger, Death is transformation. So you get that little bit of information to play with, which I think would make it very interesting for someone who doesn't necessarily consider themselves to be advanced, but would like to branch out with their imagery and would like to play with more experimental decks, which very much depart from the Rider-Waite system and even from the traditional system. As you can see, there are different, the 4 suits are named differently. So Wings are representative of swords, which is the element of air. Roses are representative of wands, that's the element of fire. Shells is water, which is represented by cups. And then you've also got gems. I'll just grab one of them. So gems are representative of pentacles, the element of earth. So yeah, you've got roses, wings, shells and gems instead of swords and pentacles and cups and wands, right? So that's what's going on there. And it really does make for a very interesting departure from the traditional ways of reading the 4 elements in tarot, which I really enjoy. And I just really enjoy the artwork as well. I love the fact that you've got the pips being very sort of pipsy with just the gems or just the butterflies or just the roses, whatever. I really like that. And I like the fact that you've got the illustrated major arcana and the illustrated court. I like the sort of collage, almost tapestry style feel to the art. That's something that really does it for me. That's something that personally I really love. And I really like the way that some of the cards, like the pips, for example, they're very kitschy. They very much look like sort of decoupage Victorian bowls in a way. They're very kitschy, and I like that as well. I think that punctuates the look of a spread really nicely. So yeah, True Love Tarot is in my reach for more because I just love it, and it's fast becoming one of my absolute favourite decks to work with. I really, really enjoy this one, guys, and I've given quite a few client readings of late with True Love Tarot, so shout out to you if you're one of my clients that I used this deck for. I hope you enjoyed it. I really, really love this one personally. I really just get a great feeling from it, so that's in my reach for more. Now you will notice that my Marigold Tarot is in my reach for more basket. Let's bring it forward and I'll have a little chat with you about this, because I did do an unboxing and first impressions of the Marigold Tarot, so I want to talk to you a little bit about my ongoing journey with it. So I really, really love Marigold Tarot. It again has become a current firm favourite for me right now. It's something that I reach for and reach for and reach for. In fact, a couple of weeks ago I went out to Amsterdam for a friend's birthday, and my intention was to give a tarot reading to a friend of mine who lives in Amsterdam. And instead of picking up one of my mini tarot decks that I very much favour for going away, something like this for example, my teeny tiny Rider-Waite tarot deck for travel, I actually took my Marigold tarot deck, which is really weird for me. I do not usually take sort of a full-size decks away with me. I normally go for a travel edition, like my mini Visconti, my mini Rider-Waite, right? But I just needed my friend to have a reading with this. I needed him to experience this particular imagery. I was like, no, I've got to do him a reading with Marigold Tarot. So obviously it does hit the nail on the head for me. It definitely does what it's supposed to do, and it gets me feeling super giddy. So I do enjoy it. Now, a couple of things I want to say. In the unboxing and first impressions, I did mention that I was really struggling with the box, and I was not impressed by the fact that the box was stuck closed. I must say that that was definitely to do with the way that it was sort of the way the materials stuck together in the post, basically, in the shrink wrap and in the post and all of that jazz, because now it opens beautifully. There we go. Nice and simple. You just lift it, give it a shake, and you're good to go. So as was mentioned by the creator Amrit Bra in the comments, and other people who have the Marigold Tarot, they did say to me that problem will work itself out, and indeed it did. I must say though, there is another problem with this box now. Honest to God, I'm such a little whinger. The minute one problem is sorted, there's another one. So yes, fair enough, the box does open now as it's supposed to, so that problem cleared itself up. However, sadly, sadly, all of this gold writing and imagery is just rubbing off already. Look, I'm losing my dagger on the side here. I'm already losing the wording on the back. It's just, you know, and I have not sort of been very rough with this. Like I mentioned, I did put it in my suitcase, but it was wrapped up in clothing. You know, I was very precious with it. I don't play when it comes to taking tarot decks with me on flights or anything like that. They're wrapped up and well cared for. So this really shouldn't be happening, and I'm sure other people have probably experienced the same, that they are losing the gold detailing on the box, which is such a shame because it is such a beautiful box. So yeah, so that's sad. Eventually it will just be a black box with no detail on it about exactly what it is or anything, I should imagine. So that's a problem. But the deck itself is absolutely stunning. Now I will say as well, this deck is not necessarily very hard wearing. As you can see already round the sides, you've got the sort of a lot of white bits, I suppose you could say, where it's just kind of, I can't really explain it. I mean, it looks good. It's I would say, if anything, it gives it a bit of a nice worn look, which is cool, kind of a bit piratey. But certainly there are bits coming off, like there are white bits coming through on the corners that I think quite a few collectors might not be so happy about, but I do know there are lots of people that just like to colour the entire sides. You know, they like to make the whole sides black or make the whole sides gold. That might be an answer. I don't know, because I don't customise decks like that at all, so that could be something that people might want to do. But in terms of the imagery, I mean, guys, it's just, come on now, it's fucking lush. It's just so beautiful, and it really does speak to my heart. It's such an important part of my collection already, and I feel like I've literally only had it really comparatively for 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. So, you know, definitely was worth supporting this one on Kickstarter, and really, really lovely to own it. So that's in my reach for more, because really half the time it's on my tarot table anyway. I play with it so much. I really enjoy it. I've used it for so many client readings of late, so I just wanted to give that one a mention. And yes, that is very much in my reach for more, so that it doesn't end up gobbled up by my tarot shelves. It's always to hand. It doesn't come with a little white book, which is another shame. But yeah. And the other thing in my reach for more is my Crystal Unicorn Tarot by Pamela Chen. And I did do an unboxing and first impressions of Crystal Unicorn Tarot, so you can check that out. Now, basically, I love this deck, but it hasn't gotten the attention that I'd like to give it. So I really just want to give it a bit more attention, basically. I want to play with it more. I want to give it a bit more of an outing, and, you know, see whether or not I can do more of my inner child readings with it, for example. Can I do other kinds of readings with it? Where does it fit in? You know, so I want to just have it to hand to make sure that if there is any instance of me being able to use it for a client and I feel like it's appropriate, then I will do. Obviously, there are a lot of readings that I do for clients that are about incredibly deep and painful subject matter, and sometimes it does feel as though a unicorn deck is not going to be the appropriate choice for something quite as serious and as solemn as what we are discussing and what we are approaching with the reading, right? But I definitely think there are ways of getting this deck a little bit more airtime. I do like the idea of it for inner child readings, but I always reach for my Tarot of a Moon Garden for inner child readings, or my Vessel Oracle. I really love Vessel Oracle and Tarot of a Moon Garden for my inner child readings. So this little peach doesn't really get much of a look in, even though it's perfect really for inner child readings. It's actually perfect for them. So that's why it's in my reach for more basket, because I want to give it a little bit more of an opportunity to come through and be my deck of choice. If there is an inner child reading in the next few weeks or anything like that, you know, I would really like Crystal Unicorn to get a little bit more airtime and for me to really play with it and use it for clients. So that's why that is in there. So that's what's going on with reach for more at the moment, guys. I'd love to know what you are reaching for more at the minute. What do you plan to spend more time with? What are you exploring? that maybe you haven't been exploring and you would like to sort of give it a little bit more attention. I think it's really interesting to do something like this. It just really sort of shakes things up and makes you very aware of what you've got in your collection, and it makes you appreciate what you've got in your collection. So I think it's always a really good thing to do. Darlings, I feel so lucky to be able to do the job that I do and to have tarot and oracle be such a big part of what I do for a living. It's been amazing, and I will say, you know, I worked hard to get to this point, and I would never take that away from myself, but it's undoubtedly true that I feel lucky and grateful every single day to be able to play with cards for a living. It's just an amazing situation that I find myself in, and it's what I really want to do more than anything else, and to be able to say that is a huge privilege. So I want to thank you all for supporting me on the journey, as audience members, and many of you also as clients along the way as well. It really does mean a lot to me. And I will say that I do have quite a few things coming that have been sent to me by creators for unboxing and to showcase on social media and to talk about in CARDSLINGER episodes, and that's something that just really brightens my heart and fills my soul. Just the fact that I am somebody that creators can see themselves, you know, passing these things to. It's really exciting. So I am going to be unboxing a few things. I'll just talk about a few of them here. So one thing that is coming up in the not too distant future is my unboxing of Hip Chick Tarot. I know that a lot of people are very excited to know what my thoughts are on this after I posted on Instagram that I had received a copy of it from Maria, and I couldn't be more excited about playing with this and letting you know what my thoughts are. This has really caused a big positive stir in the community and been something that people feel really affectionate about already. So I'm very much looking forward to letting you know what my thoughts are. I'm also going to be unboxing the Simple Tarot. Now, the Simple Tarot is something that I thought it would be great for me to look into as somebody who has taken a great many people through the beginners tarot course. I do have a 10-part trainee tarot course on my channel. It's totally free. You can go and find the playlist and work your way through it. And I am also a tarot mentor. I do tarot chat sessions. You can purchase one or a package of 3 over in my online store. So I do interact with lots of tarot beginners, and it occurred to me when the wonderful creator of the Simple Tarot contacted me and asked me if I would like a copy to check out, that it seemed like a really appropriate thing for me to do, because it is a useful resource for beginners. It is for people that are at the beginning of their tarot journey, who want tarot to be broken down for them much more, and who want something that they can shuffle and read with and learn with at the same time. So I said I would love to have a copy of the Simple Tarot. I would love to see whether or not it could be a fitting resource for the beginners that watch me. And so I'm going to be talking from the perspective of a beginner as I unbox the Simple Tarot, and really thinking about whether or not it is a fitting resource for so many of the beginners who are watching me for my tarot tips or getting involved with my tarot trainee tarot course. So this is going to be something a bit different, because I'm really going to be delving into the mind and the needs of a beginner. And it's been a while since I was a beginner, although in a way I always feel like a beginner, guys. I know. I feel like a perpetual tarot student. So this is going to be interesting. This is something a little bit different that I can't wait to share with you guys. I won't show you the other packages because they're plastered with my address right now, but I am going to be also unboxing the Naked Heart Tarot. I'm really excited about that, and I'm really excited about getting to grips with that. It looks like an amazing deck, so to have the opportunity to be able to play with it and let you guys know what my thoughts are is really exciting for me. And I'm also going to be delving into the 40 Servants deck by Tommy Kelly. I'm really excited about that as well. I've been watching the series unfold where he talks about each of the 40 servants, so I really want to delve into that world, and I want to experience more of that. So there's going to be that. Eventually I'm going to unbox Mother Peace, guys. I know there have been some people that are like, when are you going to unbox your fucking Mother Peace Tarot? You've had it for what feels like 10 years. And I know I have. Mother Peace Tarot, just for transparency, was not sent to me or anything. Obviously it's quite an old deck at this point, but it's something that I purchased for myself, and I know that I keep saying I'm going to unbox it, but the time just isn't right. But when the time is right, this little peach is going to be part of my collection. I have the Light Visions Tarot to unbox, which was sent to me, which is super exciting as well, and a few other bits and pieces. I'm going to be working with various different new decks, so there's a lot of new blood coming into my collection for the rest of the year. For the remainder of 2018, I feel like it's going to be very different to my usual kind of like slow kind of introduction to new deck imagery. I feel like I'm going a little bit faster now than I was in the past, and as many things as I don't necessarily accept for unboxing, or I don't feel like they're right for me, there are things coming up that I'm being offered that really are right for me and really feel like they're going to fit. So I'm excited, and I feel like now that I'm at a certain point with different imagery as well, I am good at working my way round to more imagery without being forgetful of things that I have in my collection, and just being kind of aware of the value of changing up imagery and playing with new things. So this is just a little taste of some of the things that I've got coming that I'm excited to share with you. And don't forget that my Card Slinger episodes and my unboxings are not the only place where I share with you what I'm using and what I'm playing with. I also exhibit a lot of the tarot and oracle imagery that I have and that I'm playing with over on Instagram. So if you're not following me on Instagram and you enjoy Instagram, please go and click the link down below to get over to my Instagram account and come and follow me on there, because really then you get a much better understanding of what I'm working with day to day and what I'm really enjoying. So I do really like to showcase imagery on Instagram as well. So I'm going to go now, guys. This has been a Card Slinger episode. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed seeing what's coming up for me and what I'm enjoying. I would love to know what you guys are into at the moment, what you're excited about, what's coming up for you, what you're supporting on Kickstarter, what your favourite decks are, all of that jazz. Yeah, let me know. I'm always really interested to know what people who watch me are enjoying about the world of card slinging. So definitely keep me in the loop, keep me up to date, guys, keep me down with the kids, and until next time, so much love, blessed be.